Historical Society and also the Whitehall Garden Club. This started with the Whitehall Garden Club in Whitehall Township, making animals and different dried ornaments for the Christmas tree at the municipal building. So we've been doing this for the last 10 years now, but this really started to catch on, the animals did, recently. So we have been trying to sell them at the Whitehall Historical Society and other historical societies. We give them to if they want to sell them. So this is what we call the Lantern Man. He's carrying a little lantern. It's made with teasel, black peppercorns, and I believe there's some sort of a melon seed, and a cut up pine cone make the feet. And the sticks are from one of these sticker balls, and I save them and use them for other things, for them to hold and make nice arms. So that's it. We'll try to make one. Now, this is in the raw. This is usually the way they come. When I get them in the fall, I drive, well, right about now, we got a lot of them. I take and I go like this with this brush. Now, you have to wear gloves. You can't do it with fingers like that, and that takes all the seed and dirt off from the outside. Then I have to decide what I'm going to do and what pieces. So now this one I cut the bottom off so he has bottom, and I can attach the feet. So I have to take a cutter and then cut the bottom of the stem off. My mistake when I trimmed these the first time, I didn't leave any stem when we took them off the bush. So if you leave a little bit of a stem on them, you can grab it and clean them a lot easier. And then holding them, you don't get stickery so much. So that's one thing I learned. Okay, the head goes on, and I have to trim the top off a little bit because that's too stickery, and the head won't go. So I take that. Now this is going to be the head. And I'm going to leave a little bit of the stem on, to leave him just a little bit of nose, as you can see there. And then I'm going to leave, sometimes I leave the bottom whiskers there. That's what I call them, these little stems here. And I leave the bottom ones on, that gives him a beard-like effect underneath there. So when it goes together, it'll be something like this. And I usually take and put the eyes and things on first. Oh, now, yep, I have it. I put everything in one package to make 6 or 8, and I keep them that way, so I'm going to just get one together. There's the eyes, and here are the ears, and 2 feet. And I cut the pine cones up and dry them. So there's 2 feet. We can put the feet on now. Hope that the glue is working. Yep. I use, I didn't bring my hanky. You have to keep the tip clean. And I like this particular gun. It's a Gorilla Glue gun, and it has high and low setting on it. And I was using it on the high setting, but I prefer the low setting. And you can actually, when you're doing things, you can actually control the glue coming out a lot better. So this is for the feet. So I just put a little bit of, as little as possible. And then put them on like that. That's 1 foot. There's the other foot. No, I didn't hold that right. See? You have to hold them and blow them a little bit. So now I have the feet on, the body, and I have to put the head on. I like the whiskers hanging down, so now I'll put a little bit of glue in the middle here. I try to use as little glue as possible. And if you don't, okay. Okay. I hope that works. Sometimes it don't. Now, put the eyes in. They're peppercorns. I also got something new now. It grows in the garden, it's a bulb. And you get these little black things underneath. They're shiny, a little bit bigger. And I'm going to be using them next year because a friend of mine said he knew where he can get it where it's growing a lot, and I'll be able to, may have bigger, shinier eyes. It'll look better. There's your eyes and the nose, and now the ears. There's the ears and the face. Now I should have took a little more. I see what I did wrong, but it's holding up okay. I should have cut a little bit more off the stickery stuff off the top than I did. Now, this is from the, what is it, sticker ball. It's a sorghum tree, I think it is. And that's what I'm going to use for the arms to hold the lantern. And the lantern, I believe, is called, June cherry. They made a pie, used to make a pie out of it. I had it, there was a restaurant not far from here that used to sell it. And I used to get it a lot, but they don't make it anymore, I don't think. The lady that made it isn't there anymore. A little bit of glue on the arm and stick it in. Okay. And stick it in. Okay. Now I'll get a lantern. And take the stem off. Okay, now comes the fun part. A little dab of glue. And then hold the one lantern, the arm in, and bring it around. There, I'm goofing already. See, it didn't stick. he's holding the lantern. And then the next thing you have to put on is to hold it on the tree. And I use fishing line. I usually pick it up at a flea market for $1 or something, and that's what I use. So you have to hold it together. And then it's going to go on like this. And I like to put a little glue on it. Right. Before I put it in to hold the two pieces together, or they spread apart in there. And stick it in the head. That's usually that's the way it works. Sometimes they work better, look better than that one. This one is so. Okay, here's the next one. It's made with 2 gumballs and 2 pine cones and pine cone cut apart and that nut that everybody likes, the green thing.
Pistachio.
Pistachio. Thank you. They saved me the shells. That's what I make it with. Okay. I try to get a larger ball for the bottom and a smaller ball for the top and work it that way. So we'll glue the two. Okay. And the 2 pistachios. Sometimes they need cleaning to take the stuff out of them. Okay. Get the red nose. I don't know what they are. Somebody brought them back from Florida for me and I don't have many left. And it has a black knob on the end of it and it's red. And I never did figure out what it was. But since I've been collecting barberry and I've been drying them and it looks like they're going to work. They'll be just a little bit bigger but they'll work fine. Lost one. These things are, I like to put the black thing in the back and the white, red in the front. Put his feet. So I cut apart pine cones and there. These are angels that make out of milkweed pods and zoysia grass. And I had to wait, and then there's an acorn on the top, and money plant makes the halo. These are for the top of the trees, made with money plant and zoysia grass stems. I dry them and cut them to size and keep them in plastic containers in my storage room. And this is what goes on the top. I do. I have dried flowers. I pick them up over in Jersey at a herb farm. I buy them. And I can't think of the name of the darn things. Got the stem. This is what I do when I'm up there in the barn all day in the afternoon and listening to classical music. And then these are made to hang on. And that's easy, you can collect that in the fall. When you have to try to get them, the secret is to get them just before they open. And then take them and dry them, set them out to dry, and then you can open them. And I save the seed, and I get these in a park, and it's a couple of acres of ground where they just keep it natural. They only mow it once a year. So there's all kinds of stuff for the animals to eat and go in there and everything. So that's where I get them. So then I save the seed and I take them up there and spread them, so then there's more then all the time. And the same thing with the teasel. I had that spread, but I'm going to get a small garden, I think, now and plant these things, and so I have them readily usable behind the big white barn and the property. And these are the hang them, dry them, and then we put them inside the milkweed like that and hang them on the tree. So, okay, we're going to make a skier now. These were popular because we sold out of them at the mill, and I had to make a couple more. I used the seed pods from a tree, and we only just called it a cigar tree. It gets these long green pods and great big leaves. I don't know what the name of it is. And I got it out of my neighbor's yard. Well, he cut the tree down. So now I can't get these anymore. So I had to go somewhere else, and Jeff found them down in Kutztown, so we're using these now. And it's an English walnut is the body, and then the acorn is the head. And I use oh, these are the ski poles go on either side from the body, and I use, I can't think of it. It's a wildflower. It grows wild all over the place. And when it's dead and it's dry, and it's sort of green, but if I cut it and let it dry, it turns brown, and it's pretty substantial. So I use that then for the ski poles and the different other things, legs on animals and different other things. So I collect them. Black-eyed Susan, that's it. And I use the center, the center of it, on an English walnut, and then I use seeds, watermelon seeds or something for feet, and put that on. It looks like a turtle coming out of a shell. So we make that one too. That's fun. Okay, let's get this going. So I try to put the red label of the nut in the back. It has to dry a little bit. Then I take and put the ski poles, and he holds them with red raffia. We try to use all natural stuff as much as possible. No plastic. I use those for something else. I keep them. Okay, now the head. Try to point the point of that acorn down a little bit, not straight out. And you know, when you ski down a hill, if you have the scarf on, it flaps out behind you, so we put a little scarf on it, so it looks like it's flapping out behind you. Sometimes you have to glue twice. So that one sold out the other day. But other people have been buying these things and putting on their trees and using them, so it's working. We're hoping to support the historical societies this way by having them sell them, giving them to them. Works good.